I spent a good amount of the time that I played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet doing draft leagues, so when Pokemon Champions was announced and then finally released, I was extremely excited and wanted to dive in super early. So I joined a draft league in the first couple weeks of Pokemon Champions being available, not knowing the meta, how it would develop, and what all might be really good, really bad. But there was one thing that was very clear from the start, and that was Mega Floette Eternal was a buster. It was insane. The damage output that you have with fairy moves was nuts. I hadn't used it on ranked ladder yet, so when I joined a draft league and had first pick overall, you know that I had to take the best Pokemon in the format. Many rounds go by after I get the very first pick overall of Mega Floette, and I know that I want to build kind of around it, get some support for it, and cover up some of its other weaknesses. So first thing I get is Tyranitar, mainly because strong physical attacker to pair alongside the strong special attacker. And it also gives me potential sand mode if I want to draft some other Pokemon around that. And when it came to a support mon, I very early on identified Espathra as a solid option. Combination of Speed Boost and Lumina Crash, Baton Pass, and one thing that I really wanted to try and make work was Skill Swap to give Speed Boost to Mega Floette and keep Fairy Aura, because Fairy Aura is a field effect, not a single Pokemon effect. It is not something like Pixelate that only benefits whoever has that one ability. So that was the theory that I had there. I then went and picked up a couple more support pieces. I got Trevenant, mainly to have some options for Trick Room. It gives me Ally Switch, which can be nice and tricky. It gives me a Friskmon if I really want. I also have Natural Cure, right? Not going to use that as much, but Harvest. Harvest is quite nice. We then also got Vivian. So we have Friend Guard, we have Compound Ice Sleep Powder, we have Redirection in Rage Powder, a lot more reliable than Ally Switch. We also have Tailwind and Rage Powder together, which is very nice. And so with Trevenant and with Vivian, we now have two different speed control options that are pretty reliable. For a secondary Mega, we had to get a very low tier Mega. If we got a very high tier Mega, Mega Floette Eternal is in the highest tier. It is my 1 S tier for this draft. So I went and I got a C tier and I got Mega Skarmory for a couple of reasons. One, it's a big threat to Skarmory, it's a big threat to itself, oh no. It's a big threat to Mega Floette because it can't be redirected with Stalwart and strong physical steel damage. So I wanted to remove that option from my opponents. It was also because it seems like a good mon for what was available in the tier, having a flying type, having a steel type at this point, which I did not have, felt quite strong. So was happy with it as the secondary mode, alongside where maybe fairy damage isn't the best choice. I then got Snorlax because I wanted to have a proper Trick Room mode. And in general, Snorlax is very bulky, so it doesn't need Trick Room, even if it likes it a lot. It has great coverage, great bulk, so all around just good glue for the team. I then have a couple of low tiers remaining and one high tier that I managed to weave my way through and keep despite how obvious it was that I wanted it. So for the low tiers, first I got Simipour. Base 101 speed with Fake Out, very, very good. For a D tier mod, the lowest tier, Stab Scald is not bad, right? So I'm happy with it. And then I also got Passimian because, again, it's like for the tier, it's not bad. Base 80 speed, you might need a Choice Scarf on it, and it has coaching. That was kind of the main thing. Is ideally I wanted something with coaching for at least the threat of the side setup, and it also has weird and cool tech options, like obviously things like knockoff and U-turn, but it has a Lecture Web for some reason. Maybe that comes into play. Who knows? So finally, in A tier, I got Tyranitar. Of course, I wanted Excadrill beside it, but it just worked out that no one else either wanted Excadrill or could afford Excadrill. They either had their grounds and steals covered, or they ran out of their A tier picks already. So I was able to hold off, and my luck paid out because I got a very strong duo and great support pieces around it. So that's the full squad going into my first Champions Draft League. This season was meant as kind of a tester to see how things would flow in Champions, because at the time, we still didn't know about how hard it would be to train your Pokemon week by week, how many slots everyone was going to have available, how easy it would be to get everything, you know, like these were still just unknowns. And also when it came to tiering and things, because there was no meta yet, we wanted to keep this season like kind of shorter. So this was only 4 weeks of regular season. The top seed would get a bye into the semifinals, and then seeds 2 through 7 would play the quarterfinals, then semifinals, finals, and then if you get to the finals and win, you face the finals winner of the other division, the other pool of draft, to see if you can become the ultimate winner overall. So that's the goal. We have 4 battles to get ourselves into playoffs. Looking at our week 1 versus Jimbo, we're going up against a Sun team. It's also kind of a hard Trick Room team. They have a couple of, you know, some fast pieces. They have Typhlosion Hisui, they have the Cleavor, the Hawlucha, and if they don't Mega, the Mega Victory Bell. But they have Torkoal for Rigorath, Mega Drampa, Araquanid. These are very slow pieces. They also have Emolga and Tyrantrum for some lower tier picks that can, you know, do some threatening things to us, quite truthfully. Going into this week, fairly simple plan when it comes to the Mega. I'm bringing Floette. This thing's a beast. Thankfully, it doesn't get a lot of coverage, but it does get Psychic, which is going to be very important for the Victory Bell. I also have Tyranitar, and I'm bringing Stealth Rock on it because they have a lot of rock weaknesses, and it's just going to kind of ruin their day. Helps with the Eruption Mons as well, immediately tanking the power of Eruption by 25% anytime any of those Mons come in. Going to be extremely helpful. I'm going to Harvest Occaberry with the Trevenant, because if they set up the Sun, I will always get my Occaberry back, and I have Pain Split with relatively low HP, so I should hopefully be able to, you know, do a couple of things. I have Trick Room and Imprison, so that if I want the Trick Room, I make sure they can't reverse it, or if I don't want them to have the Trick Room, I can prevent them from clicking it, and then Poltergeist is just good damage overall. With Snorlax going Thick Fat, because a lot of fire types, again. Rock Slide, very strong into this team, bring Double Edge for just the stab, and then Ice Punch is good coverage into the rest of them. We're bringing the Sandrush Excadrill, Focus Sash, very common thing here. We have Rock Slide and High Horsepower and Protect, all pretty standard, but don't need a Steel move this week. They don't have any fairies, I believe, right? So went with Rock Blast. This is mainly to get around Araquanid's Wide Guard and hopefully just chunk it down. Passimian is the last one, and it's going entirely for supportive capabilities. We have Rock Slide for damage, we have Coaching, we have Feint, which we need to be careful of for Rigorath just in case, and we have Taunt to try and shut down any Trick Room shenanigans that way as well. So let's get into it. So my opponent brought, what the fuck? Okay. This is not necessarily the team that I expected. Let me pull up my documents and stuff to help me out. So they didn't bring the Mega Drampa, that's fine. But they didn't bring the Farigiraf, which is interesting. I like the idea of... Okay, so Stealth Rock is good into most of this team. I'm going to spring Tyranitar on lead. Cleavor is a problem. I was not expecting Fast Mode, I'm going to be honest. Do I just lead Drill? No, because then they switch in Torkoal and Jimbo goes crazy style on me. So, honestly, I think I bring Floette in the front as well. Snorlax is a solid switch in to things in general here. And then I think Drill might be the best option last. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, how confident am I in this? Not very, but we shall see. My item on Passimian is pretty useless, but that's fine. Hawlucha Typhlosion. Do I have Intimidate or anything? What are they doing to get... Okay, yeah, it's Frisk. Sandstream goes up. They know I have Chople. So, do I just rip a Rock Slide? Does Hawlucha get Wide Guard? It does not get Wide Guard, so... And then I think we're gonna Mega Evolve and Protect. So the reason we're Mega Evolving is that if we ever have to switch in and out, then we get to benefit from our Fairy Aura and our boosted stats. So Drought's gonna come out, that's okay. Next turn, I'll probably end up switching Tyranitar out into Snorlax. Okay, one thing I want to look up, does Victory Bell get after you? No, it does not. That doing 40% to Tyranitar is pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Rock Slide comes out, we don't miss either of them, and we, very importantly, don't actually take out the Typhlosion. Honestly, that's pretty dope for me. So, do I want to reveal... Okay, I think we go for Dazzling Gleam, because I don't think a Moonblast would actually KO. Let's see, Floette Mega... Sure, I don't remember what my set is. Torkoal, Tier Sun Offensive... Actually, Moonblast, depending on their training... Actually, because I think I'm Modest, aren't I not? I think I'm Modest 32. Moonblast, actually, if it very high rolled, could KO. Protect on Torkoal is super fine. Are you just Scarf? Potentially. They're potentially just Scarf. But Floette gets first KO. There, notepad. I don't like doing this mid-game, but I feel compelled. Victory Bell is now here. We're gonna bring in Tyranitar. And... okay, they have Hawlucha in the back as well. I'm just gonna do it. I'm okay with trading my Floette here. Even though I have 3 things weak to Hawlucha, I regret this decision. It's fine. What if I was Psychic? On this Torkoal, though. Wow, I actually don't KO. That's probably optimal? And Floette avoids that. Incredible. Oh my goodness, the luck I just experienced is kind of nuts. I'm not going to click Stealth Rock in this game because there's just no reason for me to do such a thing. Let's see, Hawlucha could come in here. I'm going to protect Floette while I go for Rock Slide. Yeah, Torkoal switches out, that's totally fine. Power Whip! Wow, okay. So now they have weather control. However, they do lose their Victory Bell. I also have my Sash intact on Excadrill, which is very good and important. This Hawlucha is going to be the fastest thing on the field, and I'm pretty okay with that. I am gonna Moonblast. Maybe Dazzling Gleam would have been better, but it's fine. Pshaw. Please connect on Torkoal. Thank you. Big damage. Can I get a flinch for fun? A flinch for fun would be nice. Oh my goodness, we got a flinch for fun! Do a little fun dance. Is that the only move I've shown on Excadrill so far? It is. I'm gonna keep it that way. I've shown all the moves on Floette, so I may as well just go Moonblast. Flying Press. Ooh. That's interesting. I don't really get it, though, because unfortunately, given that it's flying and fighting, it does... It does get resisted. Okay, so Floette is going to get 2 on this game. Snorlax. How useful was Snorlax? It was pretty useful. It came in and tanked an Eruption. And I was threatening big damage with it. Basically, is there any reason for me to change this up? Passimian and Trevenant just don't really do much, I think. The benefit of Trevenant is that it can't be put to sleep with Sleep Powder, right? And I could set the pace with Trick Room if I really wanted to. Okay, Floette on lead again. No. Excadrill on lead. And now the question is, do I just lead T-Tar right away? And I think the answer is no. But I want something slow to switch in the T-Tar so that I get my sand for sure. Your speed, actually, compared to what they might have, I'd like having on lead Floette, because I might even decide to switch in the other slot. Snorlax again, I think is going to be worthwhile. So last game we led off with T-Tar and Floette, and I don't regret that by any means. This time we're going to try Excadrill on lead, because if I really want to, I can go for double protect turn 1, and then turn 2 make the switch into Tyranitar, assuming that they... Okay, they're timing out. Let's check and see. It looks like they locked in their team. If they come out with Victory Bell and Typhlosion on lead, I'm going to assume it's Torkoal and Emolga in the back. Alright, so we got a Blastoise icon on this guy. Hell yeah, Jimbo. It is Victory Bell and Typhlosion, so they may have timed out. But that might also just be their optimal choice, right? Because Hawlucha... I mean, Hawlucha threatened a lot, but then I just immediately threatened it back. But what would Emolga really do? I don't know. But in any case... I think that ripping a Rock Slide and then going for Protect... I'm gonna go Mega Evolve Protect again, like I did last game. I think they fear the Floette a lot, and I could see this being an Eruption plus Sleep Powder play. I'm pretty confident that they're a Scarf Typhlosion. But I should outspeed the Victory Bell at least. Okay, Protect goes off first. It is Eruption. That's going to bring me down to Focus Sash. Rock Slide comes out and does hit both. Wonderful. A lot of damage dealt to that Typhlosion is very good, and the more HP that Victory Bell loses, the better. Oh, that's unfortunate, dog. This my guy out here is having a rough go of it, it would seem. Let's see. Excadrill is quite nice in general. And I think this is a pretty safe play to Psychic into the Victory Bell slot while switching in Tyranitar. If they wanted to go for a Chlorophyll type outspeed with Torkoal here, for example, like so. They switched out first, so they get Drought here. Then my Excadrill is going to switch, and I'm going to get Sun, overwritten by Sand. Wonderful. I've been having a lot of fun with Tyranitar in general on regular ranked ladder, and so having it in the draft is very nice. And then they didn't Mega Evolve once again, and I get the second KO with Floette. Wonderful. And we also are going to get some chip on Torkoal here. If this is not Typhlosion, I'm clicking Stealth Rock. I'm gonna do it. I want the sauce. I want the swag points. Do I do it anyway? Bring in Molga. I want to see the funny little guy. They're really thinking about it. To be fair, I have them in a pretty rough position. Because realistically, what is this Typhlosion doing here? Unless they're carrying something like... Does it give Focus Blast? If you're not carrying Focus Blast, I don't know what you do. Okay, they do bring out the Typhlosion. You do get Focus Blast, but I have Chople Berry. So I really don't fear what this guy wants to go for here. I want to click my funny move, I think, and then I'm going to try and take this Typhlosion out. Letting this Torkoal get Eruption off is maybe not the best. Mystical Fire! That's very cool. That's very cool tech. Cannot lie. So now we're at -1. We still get the KO with Floette, though. Beautiful. And we click Stealth Rock, so whatever's coming in is going to take chip like crazy. Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Annoying, but fine. Let's see. I think it's, what, 3 turns of sand left? And then it is Hawlucha. So depending on what its set was meant to be, we have done a great service here today. I'm gonna Rock Slide because that's still very good damage, and Moonblast into Hawlucha. I don't really fear it at this moment. Protect is okay. We find... Oh, okay, I was about to say we found Mr. Rock Slide, but no, we do not. And we are burned, so that doesn't do as much as I would hope. Is this another funny flinch? No, it is not. It's a funny dodge. This man's has been the most unlucky I've seen in so long. And quite frankly, it's rude. And I feel bad that this keeps happening. However, I am going to just continue taking KOs. Realistically, I probably have a safer win if I sacrifice some Mons. Let's see. So this has also... Okay, so I resist it, but I also resist flying. So, like, yeah, that doesn't do too much. Flying Press is a weird move. I respect you for using it, though, my guy. That's at -1. I just want to point out that that's at -1. Also, my Floette might very well just get all 4 here. And I'm going to work to that end. My phone just sent me a message saying, fuck this game. Okay. Yeah, listen, alright. Having flinched you, I agree. Also, I am going to go for the KO with Floette. I want all 4. God, okay, I need to respond to them. Alright, Psychic comes out. Please tell me this is enough. And it is. Floette gets all 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know how to use Floette. I don't know if it's gonna be that good. Really, like, people are gonna be able to, like, hard counter or something like that. And I just went up against Sun, which is like a matchup that resists the hell out of Floette, and I just won 2-0. That's pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. So let's go, Floette, Gaming, we're out here. We win 2-0 in the first week, which feels very good, and proving the power behind the Mega Floette. Very, very powerful Mon. Picked up 6 KOs out of 8 that I needed to win 2-0. So, very strong performance for this first week. Our second week, our opponent Bionics has a Sun team, which is something that we've never seen before in this very short 4-week season. We've never, nope, brand new to me. So how are we going to tackle this one a little bit different? So bringing a lot of the same Pokemon here. The only difference is that I'm swapping out the Passimian for the Espathra this time. I'm going to throw Lumberry on it to keep away from statuses, mainly the Venusaur going for Sleep Powder. That's the main concern that I have. Once again, bringing the Akaberry on Trevenant. Floette, it's very strong. That's the easiest way to put it. And so even if it's a little difficult to get big damage into some things like the fire types, the poison types, I still think it's a valuable attempt here, at least on the team builder, right? And team preview. Trevenant this week is running some interesting stuff, so we are running Ally Switch. We're going to have Knockoff as some supportive stuff, Poltergeist just for damage, but we're running Safeguard because I really don't want to deal with Sleep Powder. That's kind of the biggest thing here. Espathra, we're going for Combine Baton Pass shenanigans. Maybe we get a nice sweep going with our Floette, or maybe we get some other special damage going. Tyranitar, we're going Choice Scarf, and honestly, Rock Slide is the main move I'm clicking. I have a few specific tech options here. High Horsepower for the Tinkaton primarily, but also the Slowking Galar, and Heavy Slam is here purely for the Sylveon. Excadrill, once again, very standard things on this moveset, but we are running Iron Head this week. Again, they have a Sylveon. Snorlax this week is just for attacking moves. It is Heat Crash, because in the sun, Heat Crash into their team does a lot of damage. Rock Slide, again, they have a lot of rock weaknesses. Double Edge, it's just kind of the best neutral damage into a lot of options. And then Crunch, because I wanted something else to hit into the psychic types on the team. The Heat Crash isn't necessarily the best option depending on the weight. Must feel week 2 versus Bionics. Let's see what 6 they're bringing. The Toucanon surprises me, but that's fine. Everything else I expected. I do like the idea of a Trevenant lead. So now the question is, do I want to bring Tyranitar and Excadrill, or am I just bringing Tyranitar and then also Floette? Because I think I bring Excadrill for sure, or Tyranitar for sure, right? So I should record the gameplay. There we go. So Floette is rough into like 3 of these guys, but can survive some hits. It's honestly only rough into 2. I'll bring the Sand Mode in the back. We'll keep Floette for next game potentially. Zard and Lisk. Okay, so Trevenant, how much are you doing with a Poltergeist to this lad? You're doing a good amount, honestly. I do kind of want to get rid of your item, though. So I'm just going to protect. It is Zard Y. I'm going to protect, get my speed boost up. Electro Web comes out. Okay. Tickles. And we're gonna say probably solar power. A lot of damage taken there, but that's okay. Oh my god, is that a crit? No, I'm just insane. Okay, so they're not dressing that solar power. Okay, so they're Sandvale? Interesting. Well, I know now that I'm faster. Than their whole deal. So let's go for a Poltergeist and a Calm Mind. They have to miss my Trevenant for it to survive the round, which is fine. Yeah, Alcaberry ain't saving you a second time, lad. Okay, so that's gonna be a Trevenant 0-1. Let's go Tyranitar. So let's see, we're +1/+1/+1. There's Lumina Crash. We got that. Let's see, we're gonna go for Rock Slide. And then Lumina Crash into Edmund. This is a tricky position because I'm down a Pokemon, but I'm Choice Scarf Tyranitar, so I fancy my chances. Burpee comes out. This is Toad. Alright, we get one kill with the Spothra. Beautiful. And then this is single target. They also don't know that I'm Sash. Or not Sash, rather Scarf. And so, given the order of operations here, I'm at +2, +1/+1. I outspeed all Venusaur. I'm also Lumberry. So we Rock Slide again. Lumina Crash. Yeah, +1, I'm murdering you. Unless you're like, you could be Psychic Berry, you're not. Spothra gets the second. Alright, now time for Tyranitar to go Sicko mode. Thank you. Beautiful. I love when a plan comes together. Let's see what the last one is. Boom, Tinkaton. Yep, fair. Listen, I've got to do what I need to protect my family, and by my family I mean myself. Let's see, is it just Gigaton? Yep. So we know they can't do that again. Let's go for high horsepower and Lumina Crash into Tinkaton. I could expect us to do... Okay, 18%. Okay, that might just be max HP, which is fine. And they are Shookaberry. And now Thunder Wave. So they do find out that I'm Lum, but that's okay. So Shookaberry doing as much as it did. Yeah, I think you're just like max HP. And then Lumina Crush, this should get the KO now that you're a -2 SPDF. Yes, okay, beautiful. So, game 1 goes our way, which is lovely, lovely stuff. So, given the 4 that we brought, what do we think their adjustment will be? I could see Tinkaton coming out on lead. Oh, I am back in the lobby. Okay, so Trevenant on lead. I don't know if that, like, how necessary that guy was. Snorlax, the big boy that you are. Also, the fact that I'm Lum now that they know about that is probably gonna make that a harder sell. Yeah, you're just not doing enough. You're just not doing enough, girl. Let's see, let's go Snorlax on lead. I'm a fan of that. We'll give it a shot. All right. 2 cannon. What does this guy do, cannon? Ha ha ha. Okay, hold on. How does Beak Blast work? Burns on contact. Okay, so contact being the operative word there. I would like to Heat Crash and Protect. Yeah, fake out Snorlax, that's fine. And then Tailwind comes out. Tricky, tricky. That's okay, though. Let's see now. I think I still want to try and Heat Crash. And let's start going for some damage into 2 cannon. At least, oh wait, we know it's not Focus Sash. At least, it could be Citrus Berry, it could be Chardy Berry. Oh, my camera died, what? Gigaton! Oh, we bulky. I don't know how long my camera was out for. Apologies about that, folks. Heat Crush comes out, we do a solid amount, and we get another speed boost. So we are faster. Okay, so you're at -2 SPDF, Zard Y. I don't think I quite get the KO here, but that's okay. Let's see now. I'm gonna go for a Rock Slide here. And predictable as it may be, I'm just gonna Protect again. Let's see, is Toad? Okay, breaking Sash on this is going to be very nice. Also, oh wait, no, it's not even Sash. We know that. Imagine if I Heat Crush into that slot. You're just sacrificing it. Dang, okay. So we Protect, and we're also Thick Fat, so we are going to Yum. How much does this do? Not enough. Rock Slide. We take out Zard. And we do 81% to Venu. So Loops comes back out. I would like to Heat Crash that guy, as well as I'm gonna Lumina Crash into Loops. I am scared of it having full HP. Is that Scarf? Okay, Espathra goes down with no KOs this game, but that's okay. Snorlax is gonna get a second. Beautiful. And then there's gonna be some Beak Blast boy time. Wow, that's strong. Okay. Jeezy, crazy, man. Alright, so Tinkaton is out now. Let's see now. Toucannon, Excadrill in the sun. Tinkaton, you are going down to an Iron Head, so I am inclined to just go for that. As well as the Heat Crash into that slot. I kind of just want it gone. And then Tyranitar can clean up Loops. Okay, so this Heat Crash is still going to do work. Excadrill gets a KO. And then Heat Crash in the sun doesn't quite OHKO, but it gets dang near close. And then Excadrill tanks that pretty handedly. I kind of want to give the kill to Snorlax, I'm not gonna lie. I guess Beak Blast has negative priority. Like, it must, yeah. Okay, but we get the KO. And that's another 2-0. That's another 2-0 win for us in the second week here. GG's to my opponent. I had to face Sun twice. And the second time I couldn't even really use Floette, so that was very cool to showcase some other parts of the team. Namely, I didn't think Snorlax was going to put that much work. Yeah, I'll see you in the next part for week 3. Once again, we win it 2-0, and we didn't have to use the Floette this time. There was definitely a point after playing with that week where I realized if Floette is completely walled out, like my coverage moves don't work, and Fairy doesn't really work, then it's actually kind of a hard mon to bring in. And that definitely was an experience thing, because like right now, I think that one, I would have had a better time figuring out how to pivot it, and two, I probably just wouldn't have drafted it in the first place, which, spoiler alert, there's another draft that I'm finishing up at the moment, another one that just started up, and then I don't have Floette in either of those. Oh wow, so shocking. So we're getting close to locking up a playoffs position here, I would say, but we're very much in the race for getting first overall, which would get us a bye into the semifinals. That'd be very nice. In the third week, we go up against the King Omega, and their team has a lot of scary threats, honestly. They have Whimsicott and Mega Meowstic, which before Mega Evolves having Prankster to do more Prankster shenanigans alongside the Whimsicott is very threatening. They have Volcarona. Is that going to be offensive or support? Hard to say. They have Espeon if they want to do some psychic terrain things like expanding the force. They have Glamora, which can be really threatening if you hit it with a physical move for getting stalled out by things like a set of Volcarona maybe, or how about a Shell Armor Mega Slowbro? That's a tanky boy. They have Spiritomb. That's spooky. They have Pangoro. That can hit some things, but you know, it's at least able to hit my Trevenant with fighting moves and normal moves. Same with the Kangaskhan. That's a big threat here because Scrappy Fake Out means that I'll have a harder time doing things with Trevenant on turn 1. And then they have a regular Samurai. Not too concerned about that. Looking at this, decide that it's finally time for Skarmory to do something. Other than like maybe some coverage move on Meowstic and their Volcarona, the Skarmory kind of goes in, I'm not gonna lie. So big hopes for what Mega Skarmory can do for us this week. Also bringing the Floette, because again, it's so strong that it warrants bringing, and the opponent has to prep for it. And so even if it's never coming to a game, which I'm not saying this is the case this time, it's very much something that just is scary in team preview. So also this, I feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of like zooms and stuff like that, but I'm keeping my hands like all right here. Well, there's just nothing going on here. I don't know. Comment below what your favorite part of the random stuff that I have beside me is. Mine's definitely the custom gift Tinkaton that I got, and this thing is great and it's super soft. Yeah, bring Focus, Sash, Vivian for some support, and Sand Force, Choice Scarf, Excadrill. The extra damage from Sand Force kind of goes a long way, and Choice Scarf allows me to outspeed a majority of their team that I need to. The Espathra running with a Tenga Berry, just in case of Volcarona mainly, for a Bug Buzz. Yeah, on Tyranitar bringing a Citrus Berry, because I like health, why not? And just 3 attacks, again, just kind of general coverage into the team. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if it's what I predicted. Not really, no, which is fine. So no Espeon, no Volcarona. Instead it is Kangaskhan. Okay, well in the face of Whimsicott, I do sort of like just leading with Vivian Skarm. And then in the back, I suppose I'm bringing Excadrill and Tyranitar. Is this correct? It is now. Let's go 32. Let's just go like 32 Adamant on this guy. And then Sliver, and then Pangoro. The Pangoro is an interesting one. Not sure what to expect there. Slowbro as well. Okay, so now I'm wishing I did bring Sleep Powder. But it's okay. So, Slowbro Mega versus my Vivian. My Pollen Puff does about half. And to a Pangoro, I'm annihilating you. With basically anything. I'm gonna go for the Pollen Puff. And then Mega Evolve. I'm just gonna Mega Evolve Brave Bird you. I don't know if this is the right play per se, but I was not ready for this lead. Don't be Sash, please. Okay, it's not Sash, so we're unsure what the set is at this point, but that's okay. Maybe Skarm gets a KO. It's a good amount of recoil. Also, they didn't go for their Mega yet, meaning I do very much a lot of damage. And then Scald comes out. So if they didn't go for the Mega there, it kind of implies to me that they're looking to go for Meowstic Mega? Kangaskhan is out. Okay. Oh, God. Excuse me. I don't know what just happened there. I would like to Pollen Puff into that slot, and then I'm also going to Brave Bird that slot. And I think either way, I should get this KO, unless I go for Protect. But if you're Megaing, you're not protecting. You could have Regenerator and switch out, potentially, you know? Yeah, Fake Out. Take out Vivian, so Vivian goes X and 1. And then Skarmory picks up a second. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Kangaskhan. Let's say you're like 32, 32, something like that. If I'm Excadrill in the sand, I'm doing a lot. If I'm... Yeah, I think I want to be Excadrill. And so then last it's Glamora. Okay, so we have Glamora. Kangaskhan, how much are you taking from Earthquake? You're taking about 50%. Glamora, you are taking all of the damage. And then Kangaskhan from my Skarmory can take a lot of damage as well. So I'm going to Earthquake. And I'm going to Brave Bird. This tells us if they're Scarf. They're not Scarf, which is good. They are Spiky Shield, though. They go for Sucker Punch. Okay, good to know. That does 42%. That's looking like max HP to me, but that's also Skarmory getting the third KO of the game. I'm going to Earthquake once more, and I'm going to Iron Head. Is this Excadrill getting one? It is! Alright. And then Excadrill gets one. So, pretty slick game there from us, folks. They were not ready for the Skarmory. So, they didn't bring Whimsicott and Meowstic, which I'm thinking they're going to want to. So, we're up a game. Good luck, have fun to my opponent once more. The Pangoro is not coming. I can tell you that much. I don't think the Pangoro is coming. If it's coming in the back, because it's probably decent into my Sandcore. So I'm tempted to go the Espathra route. Am I? Am I really? Honestly, I kind of just want to lead Drill T-Tar. Skarmory, Skarmory, Skarmory. It really is just ridiculously powerful, isn't it? And then Espathra with Shadow Ball, Light Screen, Lumina Crash. You might be better than a Vivian, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna give this a shot. I predict it's gonna be a Meowstic and Whimsicott lead here. For Alligator Admirer. Yuna and Chow. I can see this being a Focus Blast Mon. So, in the sand, Tyranitar, or Excadrill, you bop. Both of you bop. So, Fake Out Tailwind. If it's Fake Out and Tailwind, I think I want to go for Iron Head, because Iron Head is still cooking this guy. So I think we go Iron Head and Heavy Slam, and if it's Protect on that side, that's fine. Okay, it's not Protect, that's good though. It is just Tailwind, that's okay. I think this counts as a KO for T-Tar because of Sand, unless they're not Sash. They are Sash, but that's going to be 1 KO for T-Tar. They have Tailwind up. So in comes Pangoro, potentially? I feel like if it's Kangaskhan, then they almost certainly have Drain Punch, right? I think that's a fair assessment. Faust. It's Slowbro. Interesting. Okay. Alright, Slowbro, if you don't Mega and you're in the sand, Iron Head is doing 20%. Meowstic. Funnily enough, your defense doesn't change when you Mega Evolve, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to Iron Head into that slot, and I'm going to go for a Crunch into the Slowbro. So they're not going for Mega Meowstic. All right. Very interesting decision. I should get a good amount of damage here, about 41%. They go for Reflect. Good play, good play. That's going to be a KO with another hit. I would love a defense drop here. No such luck. But the attack just comes out into T-Tar. That procs my Citrus. It does burn me. I think this means I want to launch Crunch into the Meowstic, and I should consider a switch here. Change up moves. Yeah, let's go into a Spot Throw. And let's go for Crunch into left slot. They don't know that I brought Skarm as the last. I don't regret it still. Psychic Terrain, so you're going for Expanding Force stuff, or you just want to prevent things, you know? At the very least, we're going to be able to Lumina Crash into Shadow Ball pretty effectively. We also can get Light Screen up ourselves. That's a lot of damage. I think prioritizing Light Screen is going to be better overall. Let's see, is it Kangaskhan? I think that's Kangaskhan. No, it's Glim. Okay. So Light Screen is still going to be very effective at the moment. And I think just trying to go for any amount of damage as possible is maybe the smartest move. We have 2 turns of Sand left. Actually, you know what? I think I can go into Skarmory. I know I do get this Light Screen off, thankfully. No, I don't! They're Scarf! Okay, good to know. They are Scarf Glim, scarfed into... Oh, no, they're not necessarily Scarf, because one I forgot about Tailwind, and I saw the Spiky Shield last game. I think I lock into Earthquake here. And I launch Brave Bird into the Slowbro slot. Let's see, I need to mark down Espathra as X1. Oh, who got my other KO? It was Tyranitar, right? Yeah, Tyranitar got the KO on Meowstic. So look at those red eyes with that gold, crazy. So they just go for Spiky Shield, that's fine, I suppose. I'm not too worried about the Glamora. They do still have Reflect up, which is annoying. If I crit this, I definitely, I just win, but I can't crit it because it's a Mega Slowbro. They go for Trick Room. Ooh. Tricky, tricky. I get it. I'm gonna go for another EQ. It's gonna be Earth Power, and then it's gonna be Scald on right slot, right? I've been put into a precarious situation here. Let's see how they target. They go for Slack Off. Good play, good play. Ooh, they're Corrosion. That's cool. But good to know, because now I can hit it with any attack with Reckless Abandon. Such as Earthquake. but obviously slightly different circumstances, you know. That is going to be 1 for Big Exca. They no longer have Reflect. I want to set up Sand again, and I want to be able to switch my move. I want to go for Brave Bird because most damage is good damage. They have Scald, Trick Room, Slack Off. I feel like last move has to be Expanding Force, right? Alright, Skarm goes down. Fair enough. No more priority, and 2 turns of Trick Room left. This is going to be Crunch and, I think, High Horsepower, right? Yeah, Crunch, High Horsepower. Oh, a defense drop would go crazy here. No such luck, but that's alright. That's a ton of damage. I think either one of my attacks can get the KO this turn, honestly. So, Crunch and High Horsepower again. Ugh. See, I think their best... No, they don't really have a good out. Their out is me missing High Horsepower twice as they KO my Tyranitar this turn with Scald. Or I suppose it's me missing High Horsepower twice? Alright, but we still hit both times. And now Trick Room is over. I mean, it was a cool strategy, and I like that they didn't Mega Evolve Meowstic. They just used it as pure support mon, and that was never the intention. Because I also do have some pretty nasty heavy hitters physically. But Excadrill picks up the other KO. GG's. That's another 2-0 win for us. We're 3-0 on the season. Haven't taken a game loss yet. And we have 1 week left before we do playoffs because it's a shorter season. All right, let's see what happens in week 4, because this will definitely log us up for playoffs, but I would like to get us into first place because then we get a bye into the semifinals immediately. Catch you then. Okay, so after 3 weeks of 2-0 wins, I'm very close to securing that top spot to have a bye into playoffs. I have 1 opponent left. Unfortunately, Latana is cracked. They are extremely, extremely good at this game, and they have a very strong team into me. That makes me not happy. It makes me happy for them, but not when I have to fight them, you know? So they have Mega Delphox, which is one of my favorites in terms of design of the new Megas, and it's very powerful, and it's very fast, and outspeeds me basically entirely, except for, Sand Rush type beat. They have a Mamoswine, so cool, they have a nice, strong Earthquake Boy beside it. Oh, and they have a Noivern. I love Noivern. Noivern. Shout out Noivern. Why can't I point? Oh my god. There we go. Noivern. Love Noivern. So they can frisk me and then set up Tailwind and just be annoying. They have Clefable because redirection is strong and they got a strong redirector. They have Tauros Aqua. I highly rate this mon. I love it in draft especially. It was considering it only has 110 base attack, it hits so hard. It's ridiculous. They have Blastoise, which is either going to be nasty support or it can, it's a threat for setup. They have Jolteon, extremely fast and great for speed control. They have Mega Steelix, which I genuinely am scared of because I have a Floette. It's a great counter into it. And I have a Tyranitar, meaning I power up all of their moves through Sand Force. Unless we're bring a Nerve, which is kind of a throw, let's be honest. They have Simisear, so they also value the monkeys. And then they have Like a Rock Midnight, which I'm not concerned about. Did I not bring Tyranitar? Okay, so into the time, I feel like I need to pull in some weird stuff, basically. So my Tyranitar, probably nerfing it a bit in doing this, but bring kind of a supportive set. So we have Crunch, Helping Hand, Protect, Rock Tomb with a Choppleberry. That is mainly because of Focus Blast being a scary move. And we're very defensive. I want to live some stuff. Bringing Mega Floette, we're just going fast, pretty strong, and 3 fairy moves because I can actually fairy spam into this team. It's wonderful. So my Espathra is going to be Lumina Crash, Protect, Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon with a speed boost, and I'm bringing Lumberry just in case. Oh, I brought the wrong green berry in game. I'm sure it'll be fine. Vivian is here for support. We are going with the Compound Eyes Sleep Powder Tailwind set with Protect and Hurricane as well. So hopefully we can live a hit with Focus Sash and, you know, get some momentum going. Excadrill, we are bringing, but we're not bringing Sand Rush or Sand Force. We are bringing Mold Breaker. I've used all 3 abilities now in 4 weeks. Incredible. Mold Breaker is just very nice because they have a Delphox and it has Levitate. So being able to hit that with an Earthquake or a high horsepower is ideally going to be quite valuable. And I mean, it also means that depending on scenarios, maybe I even, one-shot a Steelix through its sturdy. That's probably not going to matter, let's be honest. But it's mainly because of the Delphox that bringing this. And then finally, I'm bringing my monkey. I am bringing Simipour, and this Simipour goes kind of crazy. So Fake Out, great support. Icy Wind, great support. Scald, decent damage surprisingly. And then Grass Knot with Miracle Seed gets some surprising KOs. It gets a lot of damage into things like Tauros Aqua, Blastoise, Mamoswine. Though into Mamoswine, I'm probably clicking the Scald button instead, but mainly that Tauros, the Grass Knot Miracle Seed is incredible tech. So let's give this a shot. Okay, they do bring the Steelix, they don't bring a Jolteon, they do bring... This is the one that I don't have on here. Noivern. Okay. Okay, let's think on this. Simipour lead, not bad. I can just try and bust down with Floette. Off rip. Drill in the back is pretty good. The other option would be to lead Floette with Vivian. I think I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And then for the last mon, I'll do Vivian. Yeah. Espathra. Noivern Mamoswine. Okay, that's fine. So we can find out pretty quickly if they are Scarf on the memo. I want to fake out the Noivern here, I would say. I don't want them to get the speed control up. And I think I'm okay with going for D-Gleam, considering it does a lot to the Mamo, and also helps me deal with this Noivern. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so just marking down their mons. Mega Delphox, Mega Steelix, Blastoise. Okay, Fake Out does go off, beautiful. Noivern flinches. It's not Scarf. It is Roselli Berry. So they live both. And that is an incredibly tanky Mamoswine. And Earthquake did about that. Okay, so if we go like 0 speed. If you're like max, okay, you're not max. You're a good amount. Regardless, I could see this being something like Earthquake plus Tailwind attempt again. I'm not too worried about this Noivern, because I can't do anything really to stop it on this turn. So I am going to Moonblast into Memo. Tauros, Aqua. Okay. Noivern goes for Tailwind, yep. And it is just EQ. I should live. Knock on wood, kind of need to. Beautiful. Mamo goes down, Floette gets a KO. 3 turns, Tailwind remain. We have Sash intact. It is Delphox. Alright, given what they have potentially in the back, Simipour, like a fake out is nice, but not overly necessary. Whereas if they have that Tauros, that could give me some trouble. I could see this being a double up like a Hyper Voice plus something. I'm gonna sack Simipour here. Basically, if it's the Tauros in the back, I need to keep something alive for it to deal with it. Delphox Megas. I'm in a rough position here, I won't lie. So I could use like a Heat Wave Miss here or something. Noivern Air Slash, yep. Heat Wave double connect. Oh, Simipour. That is incredible. Okay, under Tailwind. You're way too fast. How many turns of Tailwind do you still have? You have 2. I think I go Drill. Excadrill, you're doing a lot with Rock Slide into both targets. And I think a fake out into Delphox is necessary, even though this is an obvious protect play. Noivern goes for protect first. And then Delphox. So their Delphox... Hold on. If you're like 32 timid, yeah, so you're gonna be like modest. I think this is a bit of a GG go next. So, stats-wise, 168. I think I want to sack the Floette here. And I'm kind of banking on them missing a Heat Wave. Air Slash, do some chip, okay. They hit both. Yep. Critical hit on Floette, overkill. Drop my pencil. This Delphox is so fast, man. I would have loved to see what was in the back for them. I'm curious. Alright, 416 to 5.9% if you're like 1-1. If you're 2-0. Okay, we're gonna do this to find out if they truly are like just speed. They're what? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong number. I was looking at Icy Wind, not Fake Out. That's funny. Okay, and then that's... Alright. So, Simipour dead, and Noivern gets a KO. Listen, I'm okay with getting a KO onto the board for Noivern. So, this Noivern at max speed, I'm gonna want to deal with that. And I think having something to help in the form of Espathra will be good. Mega Floette does match up pretty reasonably into Delphox. And I think I might want Simipour still. Mainly if they decide to pivot to Steelix. Plus having Fake Out support is just nice. Discord, thank you for being annoying. Yep, so same ones. I'm gonna Iron Head into the Mamoswine. And I'm also going to Flash Cannon it. Oh, it's Babiri. Okay. I think we're still okay. I need to flinch to be okay. I forgot about speed orders. I'm tired, man. Oh my god, we flinched. We're good. I got bailed. Wow, it lived. That's crazy work. Okay, so... Right, so you're bulky, so you're probably at best like what? Like, oh my god. Like 2 speed, let's say that. And your Babiri. There's actually a solid likelihood that I outspeed the Mamo with Espathra, so we're just gonna Flash Cannon it again. That's okay. Yep. Mamo goes down, Espathra gets a KO. And we get some damage off into this Noivern. 49%? It might be something like a max HP build. Alright, Delphox and Tailwind versus Espathra at plus 3 speed. Simipour, you're coming in here. Spathra, you're protecting. So that was 1 turn, 2 turns. So there's 2 turns of Tailwind remaining. Let me swap. It is Tauros, okay. Are we saving the Noivern, or are you scared? We will see. They do Mega. Aqua Jet shouldn't take me out from the Tauros, even if they're Mystic Water Adamant max. That does 40%. They do burn me, which is a pain, but it's okay, because now I super outspeed. And Tauros from this Espathra, good shot to just murder. And I survive anything that it wants to do, like priority-wise. This could be a Delphox Protect, potentially. Yep, Delphox protects. So does Tauros. Fake Out comes through. But it says Tailwind peters out. I think I attempt the Scald. And there's part of me that wants to protect here, thinking Noivern could come in on right slot. But if I think Noivern will come in, do I want to Lumina Crash and Icy Wind? I think I'm overthinking it, so I'm just going to do it this way. God damn it, I wasn't overthinking it! You'll see my... Oh, I didn't change my fucking berry? Oops! It was just a green berry that I saw on that guy. That's an unfortunate thing on my part. Okay, Spathra goes down. Delphox gets another, but we get an Icy Wind off here. Who missed? Noivern avoided. Hold on, that might be super clutch. I need to see what this Tauros can do into regular Floette. If it's a Wave Crash, then that's problems. And I do think it has to be Rock Slide, unfortunately. For the flinchies. Man, if I had hit that Icy Wind on Noivern, this would be a much better position for me. Delphox protects. Means Noivern doesn't. Thank you, Excadrill. Delphox, how much are you taking from a -1 rock slide? You are taking 45%. I thought they might go for that. Unfortunately, they did. I was kind of hoping they wouldn't. I think I need a flinch now to win. Even, like, have a shot. Or a miss would have worked. I decided to favor bulk. Although, to be fair, we don't know if they are a max speed Tauros. There's no reason for them not to be, but yeah. Mega Evolve, Dazzling Gleam. It also depends on their item choice, I think. We know they're not Roselli Berry, at least. They could be White Herb, potentially. Tauros protects. That's annoying. But I think... No, I think that's just bad. Oh god, yeah, Psyshock's gonna murder me. Yep. Crit the Delphox, please. Also, like, miss Wave Crash somehow. Please? I did not give this matchup the prep that it needed. Like, I very much did not prep a lot this week. Just, like, evidently, you know? Yeah, that's going to be Tauros getting the KO on Floette. GG's. Alright, well, if I had won that, I probably would have secured the bye for my division. In this case, we're not going to secure the bye, but we are going to still be into playoffs. So, yeah, I get to do that next week. Alright, GG's my opponent. Incredible team and very hard to play against. There's probably a lot that I could have done very differently. Such is life. We'll see you in playoffs. Man, I knew Latana had hands, but like, come on, like they have hands. Oh my god. So we got, unfortunately, kind of rolled there. Unfortunately, took an 0-2 loss, so we're not going to be first overall. We have to go into playoffs in the quarterfinal round, which is fine because we're still in there. And we still had a pretty good regular season overall, and, you know, I think I learned a lot, so in case I have to play Latana again, I will be able to prep better, and hopefully, if it comes to that, I get the one-up on him that time. But first in quarterfinals, we gotta see. So, you know, we only played 4 different people in this league, so we gotta check and see you know, right, like there's 5 other teams, not including myself, of course, that I could go up against. So, like, the odds should be that I have to face someone new. Oh, it's a rematch of week 1. I feel bad for my opponent because this matchup is very in my favor. On Espathra this week, we are just going to go with a different type of support. We're going to bring a couple of screens, a Lumina Crash. It's going to be nice. Tyranitar is coming once again, and instead of the Stealth Rock Tech this time, we're going to bring Stone Edge to get around the Y-Guard and just do some massive damage. On Floette, very simply, 3 Fairy moves and Protect. Hard to go wrong with that. This time decided not to bring the Psychic coverage because by this point I learned Light of Ruin is effectively your coverage move. Light of Ruin is way too strong. Again, we're bringing the same X control that we did before, so Rock Slide, High Horsepower, Rock Blast, Protect. We're bringing Snorlax, but instead of bringing Ice Punch like we did last time, we're going to bring Crunch alongside the High Horsepower and the Double Edge, mainly because the Ice Punch was, I believe, primarily for Mega Drampa, which I'm not as afraid of, especially with my Floette. So bringing Crunch to help into the Farigiraf just a bit better. And again, bringing a support Trevenant in case I really want to, you know, do some things in terms of preventing setup. But I think by this point into this matchup, I learned it's like I can just swing. I can just take some hits, some jabs. I can throw some hits, and it'll be pretty effective. All right, we're in game 1 versus Jimbo. Let's see what they brought. They brought most of what I predicted. They brought Victory Bell over the Drampaw, but that's like totally fair. What reason do I have to not do this? Basically, if it's Cleavor on lead, Cleavor is going to murder the face off of my Espathra, but after a +1 from Speed Boost, I'll be okay. I want the Weather overriding. I think that I want... It's basically, do I need this guy or do I want Snorlax? I'll go for my fast Sandboy this time. Master Trainer. It's a bit up oddly. Okay. I do so much into this Victory Bell. And I am faster than it. I think that switching in Tyranitar here is okay. I could have gone for double Protect on this turn, but just in case they go for some kind of weird setup option, I did not want to. So let's see. I feel like they're going to be special. So we get Sand Up. Torkoal protects, meaning the Victory Bell doesn't, and it also doesn't Mega. I do a lot to it. I do 88%, so they might actually be no investment. They do put me to sleep. It would have been nice to have my Lum active for this, but that's okay. Speed Boost goes off. And that does not tell me anything about what they are able to do. I'll click Light Screen here because it doesn't really matter, and I'm going to Rock Slide, hoping that they miss a Sleep Powder or a Grass move. I don't know if it's like Leaf Storm into Tyranitar. That's not bad. Leaf Blade. It also depends on their nature, but I think they might just be very offensive and not trying to go for the Mega Evolution. They switch out Victory Bell, okay, into Farigiraf, okay. Well, I'm gonna get damage off here onto Torkoal. Torkoal takes a good amount. And then Overheat comes out into Espathra. That does a lot, but does not get the KO. White Herb on Torkoal. That's very cool. So I know for a fact this Torkoal is White Herb. Save that, and it is Protect. So it's gonna have Overheat. I'm gonna say it doesn't have Weather Ball, because I think in a Weather War situation they don't want that. I am still going to attempt the light screen while I go for the knockoff into Farigiraf. I could see this being Colbur. If it's not Colbur, I take it out. If they trained with some speed to kind of catch me off guard, they could knock me out here. Well, they could go faster than me, I should say. That's pretty reasonable. So they're not Colbur. What item are you? Show me the item, please. It is Citrus. Okay. And then it is Eruption. This is going to be the end of my Espathra, I think. Yep. I'm going to watch the video back for KOs. Instead of tracking them mid-game. Also, man, I am not in the center of my camera. I need to figure out what my mount is doing. Come on now. There we go. I like that more. So, Farigiraf is down. There's a Victory Bell on the other side. That's very low health. Victory Bell from Floette. You will take enough from a Mega Floette. So we're gonna bring that out. It is Typhlosion. We will Mega Evolve Torkoal. How much are you taking from my Dazzling Gleam? Not a lot. Elmo's World. I think into Torkoal. I think I'm going to Moonblast and Rock Slide here. I did click Mega Evolve, yes. Mega Evolve. Moonblast. And Rock Slide. Torkoal switches out. Yep. This should be the end of Victory Bell. Knock on wood, if I hit. Fairy Aura. Typhlosion protects. Okay. So they're not Scarf Typhlosion. They are potentially Charcoal, maybe? Rockslide comes out. Okay, good. We at least take care of the Victory Bell. It's one less thing that we need to worry about. So if you're not Scarf, in the sun, Helping Hand boosted Eruption is the only way that you're going to KO my... Helping Hand boosted Eruption or Overheat is the only way that you're getting a KO, realistically. So I believe going for Moonblast again. Do I want to Moonblast this Torkoal? I think I do. And I'm going to knock off Typhlosion. I want information. I could see this being a Helping Hand coming out from Torkoal if it has it. It's just Eruption. That does like 40%. That's not a lot. Moobus comes out. Torkoal currently has 44 HP percent, and it does take out. Incredible. Not a crit. Not a crit. And this will almost certainly take care of Typhlosion, right? Yeah. And we get to learn the item. Right? It's Sash. Okay. Good to know. So I let off Espathra and Floette last time. They have Cleavor. I think this is going to be Scarf Cleavor. I would like to lead something that can deal with Scarf Cleavor. What deals with Scarf Cleavor as well as a potential Torkoal lead? I mean, the worst case with them having their sun up immediately is the Chlorophyll, right? Because the Typhlosion damage kind of doesn't concern me. Do I go with these for again? Or I think I maybe bring Snorlax instead of Espathra this game. 1, in case of Trick Room. 2, because of the sheer bulk that it offers. 3, the fact that Espathra not on lead, especially if they get Trick Room up, can be scary. I could see them trying to bring a Araquanid this time. And Cleavor also forces me to reposition with the Espathra in a certain way. So we're going to try this. We're going to bring Lax in the back, and we're going to start off with the Sand Duo right away. I don't think we were able to get any indication from them about the way that they were trained on this, other than this. Okay, so this was a big part of what I wanted to deal with. And we have Sand Rush, so I think the play here is going to be a knockoff and a Rock Slide. Mainly because I want this Rock Slide to not proc the berry on the Farigiraf. And it also gives us flinch chances into this Cleavor. It is X-Scissor. We live, though, because we are a good boy. And Knockoff gets the clean KO. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This Cleavor... They brought me down to 27 health, right? So that did 89%. Yeah, so they're max speed Jolly by the look of it. It's going to be Torkoal, probably. It's a Araquanid. Okay. Hey, Excadrill. If you do 2 hits, you don't do enough. Do I want to switch you out? I think I do. Because X-Scissor into Snorlax, it does a good amount. What about pre-Mega Floette? It actually does less, funnily enough, but I think going Snorlax is fine. And it is time for Tech Move Rock Blast into that Cleavor. No Trick Room for them is going to be very nice, and it's very well could be a Torkoal in the back. Wide Guard, we'd love to see a Wide Guard on a turn we don't click a spread move. We hit the Rock Blast. It's 1, 2, 3. We get the 3, we get the KO. Beautiful. And we have a Thick Fat Boy in now. They take Sand Chip, so they are faster with the Araquanid. That's fair. So not like a minus speed nature. And it's Victory Bell as last. Okay. Victory Bell as last. This Araquanid. Let's see. Let's go for Rock Blast, Araquanid, Double Edge Victory Bell. I was about to say, if in this case you absolutely Mega Evolve your Victory Bell, right? So look at that man. He's just smiling, but he's frowning because he's upside down. But like he's smiling. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 hits, so I don't get the KO, but that's still enough damage. Power Whip. They miss. Oh, this is just not going your way, huh? Bring me down to Sash. I would have loved if I double targeted Requinid. They get a crit to make up for it, but it doesn't actually make up for it because I'm Sash, and it was going to bring me to Sash regardless. So let's see how much Double Edge does to Victory Bell. It does a lot, so now innards out also is just like not a concern. I feel like $1,000,000 right now. I'm going to Double Edge Victory Bell again, and I'm going to protect Excadrill. I'm respecting my opponent by going for the optimal plays of keeping things alive. Though, and because they have Sleep Powder, there's always a chance with Sleep Powder. I'm likely faster with Floette, but if they're max speed on that Victory Bell, then there's no guarantee of it. Another Wide Guard on the Rock Slide, very fair. You kind of have to debilitate my Snorlax's turn, yeah. Power Whip, so it's Power Whip plus Poison move. Victory Bell goes down to Snorlax, innards out comes out, and I get hurt. I eat my Citrus Berry. Big Lax with the KO. And now it kind of just comes down to, do I land Rock Blast? I could go for high horsepower, but that's fine. We land Rock Blast, and there we go. A 2-0 victory gets us into the semi-finals. GG's to my opponent. Sun matchup into Sand with Mega Floette is a rough matchup, so... And I had Big Man Lax. What are you going to do? I brought the Snack Attack. So, we're still alive in this. We're still alive for at least one more round. So that is a 2-0 in the quarterfinals, and we go into semifinals. Now, obviously the crew gets cut down a little bit more, so maybe I'll have another rematch, but, you know, it's, again, like, there's 10 people in my division, so surely after facing 4 weeks where I faced, you know, 4 people, and then my immediate quarterfinal game being a rematch, surely semifinals is going to be someone new. Oh, it's another rematch? Well, it's against Latana. Okay, well, earlier I said that I was be able to use this as a chance to do better, so we're going to try and do better. So, I learned from last time that having a support Tyranitar is maybe not the way to go, so this week I'm bringing a support Tyranitar. Trust me, it's more tailored this time. I'm bringing Low Kick and Knock Off. Last time I had Crunch just for a bit more damage than Delphox, but I don't care about that. I do a bit less into that, but Knock Off is just good utility overall, right? Low Kick, very strong into one of their Pokemon that I can't remember now. Into, I believe it was meant to be for the Mamoswine and for the Steelix. Those were the 2 biggest threats. Bringing my Frisk Trevenant again, bringing Yache Berry, because this thing is a beast. With the defenses that I can put into it, I can live, like, Heat Wave from Mega Delphox. I can live, I believe it was like a combination Hurricane or Air Slash plus Icicle Crash from Mamoswine Noivern lead with the Yache Berry. I have Trick Room, Leech Seed, Sucker Punch, Poltergeist, because this is somehow actually kind of a shutdown counter to Mega Delphox if I'm positioned correctly. Fun fact, initially was playing this thinking that Shadow Sneak would be a great option, and, and it actually was. It was doing like solid damage and stuff. It was a touch weaker than Sucker Punch. Then I realized, oh, Trevenant doesn't have Shadow Sneak. Oops. Oh, Sucker Punch is gonna kind of have to do, won't it? Again, bringing the Floette here, 3 fairy moves, which is gonna be kind of a cannon. We're going to go back to kind of the tried and true Excadrill, bringing Rock, Ground, and Steel coverage with Sand Rush. Hoping to do some things for us. Now, the next 2 are where things are a little spicier. So, going with a Choice Scarf on the Vivian this time and not the Focus Sash, so I can hopefully get some fast Sleep Powders or a faster Tailwind, or even a faster Hurricane into the Tauros Aqua, which gave me so much trouble last time. So I have a feeling that they're going to be prepared for this, and I'm going to do my best to kind of play around that. However, I do think that this is a very strong bring into them. Speaking of strong brings into them, though, Snorlax, my goat, one of my favorite mons on this team by far, with Thick Fat, takes a lot from many things on their team. I'm a little worried about the Steelix still. That one could be a bit challenging. But Curse is surprisingly good here. It shuts down the physical damage that comes out, boosts my ability to take hits from things like the Mamoswine, the Tauros. So I need to hopefully be set up a bit beforehand. It also lets me offset Intimidates. Body Slam is just solid, consistent damage across the board, and then I have high horsepower for the things that don't really want to be clicked by a Body Slam because they won't take much, mainly that Steelix. So Body Slam is the main thing that I'm going to be clicking here. Snorlax is kind of being asked to do a lot in this matchup, and we're going to hopefully do right by the plan with Snack Attack. Let's see if I can make the run back successful. Let's see, so they didn't bring Steelix this time. They brought Clefable. Okay, I'm super okay with that. I think I want to go for my Trevenant mode here. And then it's a matter of who I want in the back. I think if I'm going Trevenant mode, I'm going to go for Snorlax. So then Clefable as an option. So I go not Mega Delphox, sorry. Do I go for Floette? I think I do. Yeah, my plan turn one is to either, it depends on what's in front of me, but either go for Rage Powder or Sleep Powder with this setup. That is going to be what I attempt here. I'm taking this seriously because my opponent is my one loss that I had in the regular season. So we got the Heracross Myra versus the Tinkaton Professor. Let's see. Delphox Clefable. Okay. Delphoxite and Chestoberry. Okay. Okay, so here's the beautiful thing about my setup. So, I am, in fact, going to go for the Sleep Powder Trick Room. If they go for Helping Hand, then I put them to sleep. If they go for Follow Me, then I burn the Chestoberry, but I also survive a Heat Wave here. If they go for Single Target, that could be bad, but knock on wood, they just don't do that. They probably go for Spread just in case I decide to Rage Powder. I am going to go for the Sleep Powder. I am going to land it. It's interesting that they went for Chesto specifically, meaning they have Lum somewhere else. It is Heat Wave. Trevenant survives. Thank goodness. I get Trick Room up. Okay, so the question now becomes Delphox. Focus Bots can do a lot. If I get 2+1, if you're unaware, you are Chestoberry. Moonblast does a lot. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for the Delphox, or the Floette in this position. Let me think about this. So I think I want to potentially just... I just want to get nasty damage off here. We're gonna Mega Evolve. I'm gonna Moonblast the Clef. They could go for Follow Me, but depending on how they trained, they might underspeed me. They might not be certain, though. Let's see. They do just go for the Follow Me, fair enough. Yep. So I want to show them that so that they're scared of it. Moonblast is going to do a lot. Yeah. So 72. Heatwave comes out, hits both. Does a decent chunk to me. Okay. So Body Slam, in theory, takes care of this. Clefable, do you go down to a Dazzling Gleam? You do? I want to take this chance to get up a curse. Not sure what this Clefable will want to go for. I could have gone for the Leech Seed, but I wouldn't have gotten anything out of it, quite truthfully. Because that turn, when I went down, I wouldn't have gotten any healing, and in this turn I'm knocking it out with Dazzling Gleam, because they could just follow me to deny anything. Okay, Follow Me comes out. Love that for me. I'm going to do Curse. So I'm now +1 defense and attack, -1 speed. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Clefable is down. And we get 20%. And Side Shot comes out, and we live that. Also, this should be Light of Ruin on my calc. Let's see, if you're going like 32... You could be max bulk. Like max HP. Let's see who they want to go out to next. They're thinking. I think they might not have Tauros. It is Blast. Blast could have a few different options here. It could have Fake Out. Let's see. Delphox protects. Let's see. No, this Delphox. Listen, you're going down to a Body Slam here, and let's see if it's more supportive versus if it's Water Spout. Blastoise, what speed are you at? If you're no investment, then I am faster. I'm gonna Moonblast it. Big Body Slam. Delphox down. Yeah. Okay, so then it is Blastoise and it is Wave Crash. Wishing I went for Protect now, but c'est la vie. I at least have a Curse up. It is Tauros, so I am back down to neutral. So close combat doing about half, and then my Body Slam does a good amount back. Right, so last turn I Trick Room. So I do 53%. That's a decent chunk. Is close combat. That hurt. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm making it through this one, folks. Okay, I'm gonna take time to think. So, Clefable, follow me. Problems. Clefable, how much do you take from Ironhead? You take 66% from my Ironhead. If it is helping hand boosted, it should be a KO. So I could lead T-Tar Drill. If I lead T-Tar Drill... Okay. T-Tar Drill, and then in the back, who do I need to deal with this Tauros? Is it Trevenant? Wave Crash trades pretty nicely. Into me, and I can do things back. Gives me the Trick Room option as well. Yeah. So the chip from Wave Crash very much mattered there, and we go down a game. That's the most progress I've made against Latana this entire season, so we take those. Also seems like it is the same Blastoise set, probably. Maybe a bit more offensive. We shall see, we shall see. So if I go T-Tar Drill... I can go for Helping Hand, Rock Slide as well. Tauros into my Floette. Do a good amount of damage to me, unfortunately. Hurricane is a good option. Defensively, Trevenant is very nice. But if they bring Mamoswine and Delphox, that could be problems. Floette. We're gonna try this. We'll try the Sand mode. Scarf Viv in the back. Memo? No, it's the same lead, okay. So, let's see. Delphox, if you're 32 HP, you do a good amount to me, unfortunately. Helping Hand. I don't have Rock Slide on this set. I'm gonna go for the Clefable. Okay. Oh, good play, good play. Clavitauros, and then just reset and they get the Blastoise in. Helping Hand. Ironhead. I do 23%. Helping Hand boosted at -1. Oh, you're offensive. Yeah, you're a decently offensive Blastoise, actually. So this could be a double water double up. I'm gonna go for a knockoff and protect. Yeah, they caught me out with that double switch very nicely. Wave Crash, good play. Fucking hell. Yep. And then flip turn, try and get out. Floette would scare them out. Well, I feel like Viv should as well. I'm gonna go Viv first. I'm gonna Viv Hurricane and switch into Floette. I could see them trying to switch in their Clefable off of Sleep Powder. But I'm just going for some damage. Fuck you. Yeah, fair enough. It is Wave Crash. This is gonna hurt me. Okay, yeah, that did hurt. Tauros, me, then Blastoise. So I am faster than Blastoise, at least. Blastoise. Okay, this is Hurricane, Mega Evolve, Moonblast. Fairly simple. I can see the Tauros switching potentially. Maybe into Clefable. No switches. Might be Aqua Jet. It could be an Aqua Jet play. Yep, that's smart. Wow, okay, good play. Double Jet is solid. Wow, bulky Blastoise still alive. Okay. Figuring out the order here is tricky. I need to have Excadrill in with its Sash intact to have a chance on a turn that I can KO Clefable. There's the puff pass of that boy. So this is going to be like Aqua Jet Heat Wave. Right, so let's see. There we go. I think I got that in. I don't know if this is the right play, but it's the play I'm making. Fuck. I'm getting played, man. I should have just focused at the Blastoise. Yeah, man. Listen. Dude, Latona's such a good player. Yeah. This is also a tough-ass matchup for me. My hope has to be Heat Wave Miss, I think. Oh, I'm also calcing all of this with Helping Hand on. That's a problem. Light of Ruin. I kind of need it to be a Light of Ruin. That lands. Please. Please. I deserve a Heat Wave Miss. I deserve it. I'm such a good boy. I'm such a good boy. Come on, please. Please. Go for, like, follow me. Go, like... Go for a nasty plot. Go for an unnecessary nasty plot. Go for Psyshock into Ain't No Snitch. Ugh, come on now. A Mega Crit into Delphox, please. Because next turn they can Psyshock for the win. If I got the crit, it would have worked. Yeah, that's it. 0-2. GG's. This matchup was rough. Alright, semifinals. Semifinals where we got to. Unfortunate loss, but I did better this time than I did last time at least, so that's something. I'll take it. My team was incredible. Like, my draft overall was very, very good, I think. Rough matchup for me. Let's hope that the next one goes more in my favor. Thanks a ton. Peace out. I mean, I wore the Snorlax hat. I wore the Snorlax hat. Surely that should mean something, right? If I put on the Snorlax hat and I use Snorlax, then Snorlax wins. That's Snorlax hat 101. No, I'm just playing. Like, unfortunately, we lost in the semifinals in the first draft league that I'm taking part of in Pokemon Champions. But I had a lot of fun, and my opponent, well-deserved win. They absolutely had the team diff, the prep diff, the play diff, all of that. I had doubts on some of the turns that I had, and then I made changes to what I was doing that, if I had just kind of stuck with what I initially thought, would have worked out a lot better. I was calling out protects that I was then clicking into, as opposed to trusting my gut. And that's something that I learned that through this season that I need to improve on, is I have a lot of better gut instincts than I'm giving myself credit for, and it's costing me games because I'm not giving myself the credit for them and following through with them. So definitely a learning experience. It was fun getting to use Floette, and I enjoyed it. Probably will never draft it again, though, because it's one-dimensional. It's very, very strong in its one dimension, but it's one-dimensional, and that's not really the way I like to draft. Tyranitar surprised me. It's the first time I got to ever use Tyranitar in draft. Loved being able to use that guy. Trevenant surprised me quite a lot, I'm going to be honest. So, very happy with that fairly early pick. Espathra, I think I either didn't try and use well enough, or it just kind of didn't fit the way that I like to play setup stuff. I don't know. I'll have to see, because I think Espathra in theory is very cool and strong, and I could probably do some things with it again, given the chance. I very much liked Snorlax. That might be my favorite one on this team that I got to use. Just the bulk on that guy was so helpful, and the coverage too. I mean, it's a Gen 1 normal type. Gen 1 normal types are the most coverage monster you can find. I was impressed with Mega Skarmory, even though I didn't get to use it a lot. It was still pretty good. I think that it's probably a C tier Mon in draft, but it's a good C tier Mon. Passimian, again, I think in a longer season I would have, similar to Skarmory, probably gotten more use out of it overall, but I liked it in theory. Simipour, surprising little guy that I managed in 1 week. Like, listen, it might not have actually gotten me the win against Latana the first time. However, it was very fun. So yeah, that was my first kind of short experience in draft with Pokemon Champions. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, I would appreciate a like, comment, a subscribes, and I'm adding S's to the ends of these words is like that one construction dude in Futurama. Why did I do any of that? I don't know. I'm losing my voice a little bit from talking constantly about how I played Pokemon kinda okay. Yeah, draft is fun. There's one I'm in right now in the final stages. Not in finals, but yeah, we're approaching finals in that one. So hopefully we'll get to see that soon because I have some cool ideas for how I want to do that. Because that's a full season. That's gonna be a full season. So if you're excited for that, make sure to subscribe. All right. Comment down below your favorite new Mega in Pokemon Champions. Mine is Delphox in terms of appearance and in terms of using and viability. At the moment, Mega Staraptor? Sure. Yeah, I like Mega Staraptor. Oh, Mega Phalanx though. That design is so good. I'm gonna keep rambling if I don't just cut it off, so thanks a ton and peace out.